Man, we were all set to go hard in on Hood. We were so stoked about this game, and then we played it. And so did everybody else, apparently. Well, shit. We're gonna need something a little better than this to sink our teeth into, so now what? We've got our eyes on a bunch of stuff that's coming out in 2021, and that includes a few things that are right around the corner. Up first is going to be Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. This is a co-op hack and slash that's coming out on June 22nd. No joke, this really reminds me of that big slew of D&D and White Wolf top-down games from the Xbox 180 and PS2 era. And look for the D&D classes and action reminiscent of those early 2000 hits with a visual and gameplay upgrade for 2021. Fingers are crossed on this one. Busting out Aussie for your trailer is really swinging your dick around. After that, in the hard release column, is the big MMORPG dropping from Amazon Games, New World. This game looks gorgeous, but it's already fallen victim to some delays, so there's no telling. Hopefully the devs stick to this new date, but this is a studio with very little history, and they certainly don't have anything like this under their belt, so take this all with a grain of salt. But what we've seen looks really promising, so hopefully the game matches the hype. The environments and the mix of melee and firearms and magic look intriguing, but that's only part of the story for any MMO. If this is done right, it could be the next big splash for MMORPGs in the entire genre, and it'll keep us busy for a long time to come. In the same vein, but with a big question mark on its actual PC release date, is Bless Unleashed. We actually streamed the PC beta test for you guys a few days ago, and I have to admit, even though there are parts of it that really play like, baby's first MMO, we all had a lot of fun with this one. The combat system took a little getting used to, but it played well, the controls were fluid, and it was one of those rare PC games that played better with a controller, at least in our opinion. That's something that's almost unheard of for MMORPGs. Bless Unleashed has been on console since last year and has some pretty decidedly meh reviews, but for a free-to-play MMO on PC, it could end up being a fun little burner, especially during the downtime between other titles. Promised for the second quarter of 2021, The Day Before is a zombie MMO taking place in a post-pandemic America, and holy shit guys, a little on the nose with this one, aren't we? A third-person zombie shooter with the MMO trimmings could be a huge drop for this year, and it may fill a big void in what's been a pretty lackluster release schedule since everything went to hell. Whether or not this is going to be something like MMO Zombies with WoW-style RPG elements or Zombie Division, it's kind of an unknown, but either mode has potential. What's really surprising here is that the game looks gorgeous, but the system requirements are actually pretty modest, even on the recommended list. A multiplayer zombie survival game, that wouldn't be anything our subscribers would be interested in, would it? What the next best release date we have is summer 2021 for Aliens Fireteam, which is being billed as a third-person survival shooter taking place a few decades after the original Aliens trilogy. Not a whole lot is known on the mechanics, but it looks like the safe money is on Left 4 Dead Aliens. If that's what they deliver here, this could be a huge hit because that's a classic title. Or this could just be a licensed piece of trash. Keep an eye out. For our Vermintide fans, there's a big one coming up sometime in 2021. DARKTIDE is promising the same kind of first-person class-based dungeon runner experience and dropping it straight into the Warhammer 40k universe. That instantly promises to be as brutal as it is dark and depressing. Vermintide is fun as hell. If you haven't played it, you should definitely check it out. And if it's a game you're already into, then DARKTIDE is going to be right up your alley and should, by all rights, be an instant winner. On the arcade side, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is supposed to drop at some point this year. As somebody who was raised by NES games back in the day, the nostalgia here is thick, and that holds true for everybody else in ICG. This probably isn't going to be the deepest game in the history of the world, but these old school beat-em-ups, they were all fun as hell, and this looks like a great take on the concept. Last, but certainly not least, is Evil West. We barely know anything about this game, other than that it's an Old West co-op shooter against occult-style monsters and demons. That's not the worst premise in history, and I am instantly sold on the environment and the soundtrack of what we've seen so far.
You can run for a long time. Sooner or later they'll hunt you down.
There's not enough known here yet to say this one is going to make you quit your job and move back in with mom, but there's enough potential here for us that we're definitely keeping an eye on this title. We do have 2 entries on the honorable mentions podium, with a bit of a twist. Subnautica Below Zero just came out. This is the follow-up to the original Subnautica, an undersea exploration and survival title from 2018. For me, at least, that's still one of the best games I have ever played. I loved everything about the original, start to finish. And it was one of those rare games where I was genuinely sad when I beat it, because it meant I had done everything. NECROMUNDA Hired Gun is another title in the Warhammer 40k universe. This one's dropping on June 1st. You'll play a bounty hunter in the bowels of a 40k hive city, running around with a cybernetic dog, hunting down all of the assorted 40k villains for cash and prizes. As far as open-ended first-person shooters go, this one's not too shabby. The kick in the ass for ICG is that Subnautica and Hired Gun are single-player games, and we've actually had more than a few of you tell us before that's not why you came here. Let us know. Do you want to see us drop some single-player content on either of these titles in the meantime? Tell us in the comments or join us on Discord and give us your thoughts. And if that's something you do want, which one of us would you want to see doing the solo runs? Yeah, Hood kind of sucked, but we've got plenty lined up to keep us busy for 2021. Tell us what you think, or if there's anything else we should have on our radar, hit that sub button and stand by for more Get To It content from ICG. As always, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.